What is going on, everybody? We are back.
Hello.
It has been, what, like forever? Years? Decades?
It feels like it's been at least a year. I don't know if it actually has been.
I think it's been like 6 months.
6-7 months, probably. It's been a long time for sure, but it's our beautiful faces again. Hello.
Hello, hello, hello. If you do not know us, this is the first time you are joining us. My name is Bret.
Hello, I'm Marty. I am your veteran weeb.
Yes, and I am the, I would say... I don't know what you would call me now. I'm not really a beginner. I'm still in the beginning.
You're not a beginner, but intermediate is also a stretch, I think.
Intermediate. I would say just a basic.
Okay.
I'm basic.
You're basic. You're a basic
That's
weeb.
What I am.
That
I'm just basic weeb. I'm a basic weeb. I just like it. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. But we are the Mugen Multiverse, and we are. Well, we started off as an anime podcast, and this is still going to be an anime podcast. It
is. But, that was always the intention.
Yeah, and we are just going to kind of be going through and giving you some different aspects on like what all this fall anime that's going to be dropping or that has already dropped. There's been so much.
It is a huge month, huge season for anime. Here in a second, we'll go over kind of all the big ones that we're going to be looking at over the course of this season. We're going to be taking a look at some of the smaller ones that are under the radar. But again, if this isn't your first time joining us, the format's going to be a little different. I know we've changed things up on you. I don't know, 5-6 times already, but
it's okay.
We're going to really focus on like this season's anime. We're not going to be going into full in-depth kind of summaries like we had been with some of the other ones, like My Hero. I know we touched on Attack on Titan. Some of those. Now, My Hero is still going on, so we are going to talk about it. Don't you worry. But we want to make sure we hit everything. We want to kind of touch on everything, give everybody a chance to check out all these really great anime happening this season.
Yeah, there's a lot. I actually have an entire list of all the stuff. We've listed out all the big fall anime that have hit. We got Chainsawman, Spy Family, One Piece, of course, is still coming out. We have Bleach, the Thousand Year Blood War. Is that what it's called?
Gosh, yes.
My Hero's been going nuts. Psycho season 3. Is it season 3?
Oh, season 3. Oh, yes.
Season 3. Crazy. Blue Lock, the new soccer anime, has been pretty crazy.
I love it.
Eminence and Shadow have heard good stuff about it. To Your Eternity. Eurasia. Oh, I cannot pronounce that. I completely botched that. I'm so sorry for you guys. But yeah, there's just so much that is out right now. I mean, I could have named all 40 of the ones that we listed out. But that's what this podcast is for, is to kind of just get you introduced to all the stuff that is and is going to be dropping continuously throughout this fall. So definitely really excited about that. We have some big hitters for you today.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty excited about that. But I mean, honestly, Martin, what has you most excited about the fall so far?
Oh, dude, it is hard to lock that down, honestly. I've been waiting on Chainsaw Man for a long time. I read the manga. I was a huge fan. When I heard they were turning it into an anime, I lost my mind. And to be honest, it has done it so faithfully so far. Speaking of, we are going to be talking about Chainsaw Man today, so I'll go in more into that one later. But loving it. Obviously One Piece is still going. My Hero, best season so far. It's so fun to watch. Our boy Shigaraki's going off. I know we've already talked about that some in our past podcasts, but oh boy, he's doing some things we'll get to later. Other than that, though, my big, I would say, surprise of the season so far has been Blue Lock by far. The soccer anime. Long story short, we have a bunch of really good soccer players. They're all strikers. They want to be the best. Put them all together. They say, screw teamwork. We're not doing any of that. We're going to train you to become the best striker. And if you fail, you lose your entire career, basically, and you can never play on the Japan team. And it's like, whoa. Okay, so stakes are high. Really, really fun read. If you're a big fan of like Haikyuu, Hajime no Ippo, that basketball one I can't remember the name of, it's definitely something worth watching. So that's kind of the one so far that I'm really wanting everybody to kind of keep an eye on. But there is so many. Bleach 1000 Year Blood War. Come on. The animation is movie quality. We get right into it. It's manga faithful, you Bleach fans are gonna love it. There's so much to talk about. I could just go on for hours. It's such a good season.
Yeah, for sure. No, it's there. I mean, like we said at the beginning, like there's so many big contenders. You can't really like compete with this lineup. Like, I mean, we thought spring or winter of last year was a crazy lineup, but I mean, this year it's just massive. Like it is crazy to see what we have going on. And I mean, for me, like another one, Spy Family has been insanely good. Like it's funny. You have, I mean, Anya is adorable. You have a really good relationship between Yor and Twilight. It's just such a good. It's just so good. Like the storytelling in it is just so good.
Very
and it's
fun,
so
wholesome story. Yeah.
And to be honest, like I think it's taken the top spot for like baby's first anime. Like I really honestly think if somebody's wanting to get in an anime, Spy Family's the one to go. Like to be honest, like it's just such an easy one to get. No, not Chainsawman. Man,
it takes a little bit to warm up to that guy. You gotta be ready. You gotta be ready for Chainsaw
Dingy's
Man.
a little crazy. Hey, but we'll get into Chainsaw Man.
Will.
But speaking of just not necessarily the big hitters, but we've listed out 40 something anime. What is one that because you and I kind of talked about this, we're gonna both choose an anime that we're gonna go back and watch this next week and kind of go into. And just maybe watch the first 3 episodes and see and can bring it back to our audience and see if like, what our opinion on it was, see if it was good, if it's good enough to watch, or maybe if it's like, a one-hit wonder or, it's kind of getting slept on. So what is the one that you're going to be choosing?
Yeah, I'm going to be choosing Bocce the Rock. I don't know how it's quite pronounced yet. It is a band kind of music slice of life anime. As a musician myself, I've always enjoyed some of those anime. Your Lie in April, Becca Mongolian Chop Squad. I believe Given is one. I've really enjoyed anime like that, so I'm going to give this one a try. Like you said, these are some of the ones that like you're not going to be seeing at the top of the charts, maybe necessarily, not because they're not good, but because of all these giant ones we've already mentioned that are headlining this season. So we're really excited to kind of get into some of these smaller ones and see like where kind of, these hidden gems. So I'm going with Bocce the Rock, music anime. We'll get into the summary about that a little bit later. But what are you going with?
I'm going to be going with, it's called Arknights Prelude to Dawn. I've looked up a couple of different just like images from it. It looks like it has a very good like animation style to it.
Okay.
And I can't really tell if it's a more shonen or more fantasy. I can't quite tell just yet. I don't think it's shonen. I believe it's more drawn towards like a more fantasy style.
Okay.
So we'll definitely see how that goes. It kind of just, I don't know. It stuck out to me. It's kind of like, it's one of those names you're like, that seems interesting. I wonder what that's about.
It made me think of Batman, like Gotham Knights almost.
Yeah, like to me, like from what it seems like, it kind of seems to me like a cross between like a Black Clover and a Sword Art Online, but strictly fantasy. And not necessarily like technology or anything like that. Like it's all about these like Arknights. So I don't know necessarily what an Arknight is. I don't know. We'll find out. I'll let you know next week.
Excellent. Also, real quick, if you've seen any of our past content, you've seen, we used to be all squished into Brett's, we'll call it recording studio. As you can see, we're in several places and, finally get to see my new house we always talked about back on the old podcast, my beautiful little nerdy room here.
Yeah, your little nerdy room. You got your lightsabers. You got your All Might stuff. You got the giant cloud.
Oh, yes. What's it called? Buster Sword back there.
Buster Sword back there.
Oh, yeah. There's a lot more you can't see from this angle, but oh, yeah. It's growing. It's growing for sure. I'll bring out the figs sometime when we got more time.
Yeah. No, we're definitely getting there. Congratulations on getting the house. That's huge. So
thank you.
We're definitely going to be trying, now that we've kind of like calmed down a little bit, we're going to be starting to bring back these episodes for you. So thank you for keeping with us, staying with us, and watching this. We're going to be dropping on YouTube and on our podcast on Anchor, on Apple Podcasts, on pretty much everywhere you get your podcast. So if you want to listen to that, you can continue to listen to it that way. So,
and this isn't the only content we're putting out right now. as we're recording this, we have several episodes of a Mugen tournament out on YouTube. So make sure, even if you're listening to the podcast, go check out our YouTube. Check out those videos. We've had a ton of fun making those. If you don't know what that is, basically the Mugen is, as we've described with our title, it means infinite. And so it's all the anime verses kind of pulled together and they fight. We put computer AIs against each other and we create different tournaments. Right now we're doing our tournament of awesomeness, which is just kind of a random tournament to get things going. And it's been a lot of fun to record. Some really fun fights. So make sure you go check that out as well. Don't be sleeping on that.
Yeah, make sure you go like and subscribe. That way you can know when the next episode's going to be dropping, because we'll definitely be dropping them every Tuesday, Thursday, probably at 8 a.m. So definitely keep up with that. And we're definitely going to have some punishments once we get... we're actually having a challenge between each other. So we'll see kind of as we go. Once we finally finish our tournament of awesomeness, whoever loses, that very next podcast, we'll probably have that, that punishment that will be going. So we'll see what happens.
You know what? Maybe it'd be fun to have the punishment on here so they can see it.
Yeah, maybe we'll see. We'll definitely see. So, but, so many fall anime, so many big hitters. Why don't we talk about probably one of the biggest hitters out there?
Let's go, Chainsawman.
Chainsawman has been absolutely destroying the charts. It has been probably the most popular out of all of them. I don't know. To me, Mappa is just insane with this animation. Oh
gosh, animation's incredible.
Just seeing it, just in general, it is so beautiful. It is an anime that you're going to be like, wow, this is a very beautiful anime. Wow, this is a very gory anime.
Wow, this is a very crude anime.
This is definitely not an anime that I would recommend to small children and or elderly who are squeamish in the stomach when it comes to blood and guts and vital organs just splattering everywhere.
Do you have a summary, or do you want me? I can kind of give a summary off the top of my head.
Well, yeah, you're more than welcome to. Yeah, go for it.
Okay. Basically, we got this guy, Denji. He's our main character. Denji, my boy. He has had a very hard life growing up.
Seems like that in every single anime.
It's pretty rough. His is a little rougher than normal.
True.
Basically, he ends up homeless. He has no family. And he gets picked up basically by the mafia, the Yakuza. And they say, hey, you're going to do work for us. You're going to move things for us. You're going to kill people. You're going to do all those kind of things. And that's his entire childhood, basically. I believe he's 15, 16.
Yeah. And I think the reason that they came to him is because his father had a debt to the Yakuza. And that's what he was paying off because his father had died.
And so it just more and more and more, he makes the money. They mess with him. They tell him that's not enough. You're going to have to keep working. Basically, he's at the point where he's going to be working for the rest of his life to pay off this debt. He lost an eye. He lost his left nut. He had to sell it. This guy is not having a good time. One of the things that he's doing for the Yakuza is devil hunting. So there are devils in this world.
Wait, devils?
Devils, yes. So you can almost think Jujutsu Kaisen curses in a way, except the devil itself is always based off of real things. And the strength of that devil is based on how much it is feared. So let's say there's a flower devil, the flower devil's not going to be very strong at all. Who's scared of flowers, right? People are scared of allergens. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, that's why it exists.
Allergy season.
There's a small fear.
It could be a tiny fear.
It could be a tiny fear. So there's a tiny flower devil probably out there somewhere. Yeah. And then you have a gun. The gun devil. How many people fear guns and being shot and dying? So the gun devil is going to be a lot stronger than the flower devil.
What would you say your devil of choice? What would be your biggest fear? What would be your biggest devil? I guess is the question.
That's a hard one because there's some that are very abstract. The big one for me would be the death devil. Just dying in general.
Yeah.
That's a lot of that's fear for a lot of people, and that's why the death devil's so crazy. So that would definitely be a big one for me.
I would say mine would be like Cheeto Hand Devil. Like, like
Cheeto
kids,
Hand Devil?
You know how like kids like eat Cheetos and they don't like wipe their hands off or like don't wash their hands and they get Cheeto dust everywhere?
Do you have nightmares of like those fingers coming at you, like trying to touch your face?
I can't even imagine like a devil coming out and just like a bunch of fingers that just have Cheeto dust on them. Like, no, nope. I'm gagging literally just thinking about it.
Also for me, probably the social anxiety devil.
The social anxiety devil. Okay, I can see that.
Yeah, having to like communicate with people and things like that. Yeah, terrible. No thanks.
The telephone devil, like having to talk on the phone or like
the
doctor's appointment devil, making a doctor's appointment.
Setting up the doctor's appointment devil.
Like very specific things.
I can't do it, Mom.
No, I can't. Mom, call him. I don't know how to do it. No.
Megan, please call them for me.
Oh, that would be funny.
That's pretty good. So that's kind of the story of the devils. He is a devil hunter for the Yakuza. One thing leads to another. He goes on a hunt to fight the zombie devil. This is all happening in episode 1, so not really any spoilers here.
He's a human. And
he is a human.
And he uses fairly strong, but he has a
helper
partner.
Yes, that would be Pochita. He's basically a little chainsaw devil, kind of. And he uses that chainsaw to kill these devils. So that's kind of why he's able to actually like survive and do all this kind of stuff. So he goes in to a fight, ends up going against a zombie devil. And I mean, he's a human. This was a strong devil.
Yeah.
He dies. Denji's dead.
Main character dies. Over. Episode 1.
It's a great series. I enjoyed it.
Oh,
it was really fun.
That was it. And now we move on to the next anime.
And anyway, Cyberpunk. No. So Pochita is there with him, also kind of dying. Is like, hey, you don't deserve this. I want to see your dreams. I want to see you succeed in life. So I'm going to give you my heart. And so Pochita gives Denji their heart. And Denji then becomes the Chainsawman. Half devil, half human, chainsaw sprouting out of his forehead, out of his arms, wherever you can think of. And he just goes to town. And the story from there on out is Denji as the Chainsaw Man, basically fighting devils for Mommy Makima.
Interesting. Yeah, I'm like, it really is a very gory anime. Like, I mean, it's kind of hard to not. Like, if you were to take the gore out of a Chainsaw Man anime, it probably wouldn't work as much, Like, because, I mean, like, Mappa's done a lot of, like, stuff in the past. It's done Jujutsu Kaisen. It's done Attack on Titan. And
right, very gory as
this is
themselves as well.
A whole nother level of gore when it comes to that. So, I mean, like, now, it's not necessarily humans getting, Yeah,
yoinked. I wouldn't say it's as bad as, like, Berserk.
Yeah.
Some of those types.
Castlevania is also really rough.
Right. It's along the lines, but there are gorier for sure. I remember there being some concern with the manga fans that they were going to actually censor. And so far, I don't think so.
Yeah. Another thing. So with the Chainsaw Man just universe in general, because this is also something that I was also wondering. So you have the devils, you have humans. And then you have fiends.
Oh, yes.
What? So, and then one of the main like characters in the show, her name is Power.
Oh boy, I love Power.
What is the difference between a fiend, a devil, and a human? Or I guess like what makes a fiend different from everybody else?
So a fiend. So Denji's different because he kind of combined his power with a devil to like. He's almost a fiend in the way, but not the same sort. A fiend, the devil still has like full consciousness and full control, and they basically taken control of a human body.
So it's pretty much the opposite of what Denji is.
Right. So Power is the blood devil. She doesn't have blood devil powers. She doesn't have chainsaw devil powers like Denji. She is the blood devil in human form. And that's why she's got the weird eyes and the horns. So she's, that is a fiend.
I gotcha. And like in the world of Chainsaw Man, the devils are frowned upon. Yet some of them are used in a fight against the devils.
Right. So with Power, she was down on her luck. Things weren't looking super great. She wasn't having a good time in her fiend body. She was found by Makima, who is the head of, I'm going to forget the name of the association.
It is basically the Public Safety Division.
Thank you. The Public Safety Division, which is in charge of eliminating devils. They basically capture her and they say, hey, we can kill you because you're a fiend, or you can help us kill devils. And she's like, well, I'd rather not die. And I got my cat I need to save. So I guess I'll help out.
So that's
how they get fiends on.
Yeah. So, I mean, really overall, like just kind of like a quick just summary of like what Chainsawman, like you have Denji. He is this human that turned contracted devil in a way. He's now the Chainsawman. He's very powerful, is kind of picked up by Makima, who is the leader of the Public Safety Division, which has a specific group of human devil hunters, which include both humans and fiends. And Denji.
I believe it's Squad 4.
Yeah, Squad 4. And basically they're going around getting rid of these very powerful devils. And what's very different, and I'm going to let you go in on this. You know, you think of My Hero. What is Deku's like main purpose? It's to become the number one hero. What is Black Clover? You know, Asta, he's trying to become the Wizard King.
Luffy's going to become king of the pirates.
Yeah, exactly. But like, you know,
Denji,
what is Denji?
Denji's going to touch some boobs.
It's literally it. And
now that's not literally it. That's not literally it. And let me explain to you. So as we spoke of in the kind of the summary of this show, Denji had a very hard upbringing. He doesn't know how to be social. He doesn't have manners. He's never touched or barely talked to any kind of woman before. So his dreams are very shallow. Mm-hmm. You know, he wants, instead of just moldy bread, he would love to put some jam on some toast. Like that is heaven for him.
Yeah.
He wants a hug. He wants to feel boobs. He wants a kiss. He has these very shallow dreams and goals. But that's kind of what makes him, I don't want to say fully relatable, but like he doesn't have this, crazy, I'm going to be the best, I'm going to save the world kind of dream attitude. He's realistic. Yeah. He's like, you know what? Right now, I just want to eat some good food. I want a bed to sleep in. I want someone to hug me. Mm-hmm. And one kind of fun fact I don't want to leave, because the most reoccurring dream that he has that he wants to fulfill is probably touching boobs. But the interesting part, I don't know if I told you about this yet or not, Brad. I've talked to a couple people about it. In anime, most of the times that we hear the word boobs in Japanese, they use the word opai. So opai means boobs. Mm-hmm. Almost every anime that I've ever seen that they've ever referenced it, they say the word opai. In Chainsawman, he does not use the word opai. He uses the word mune. I believe it's M-U-N-E. And it also means boobs, breasts, but in certain settings and, different times, it can also mean heart or love.
Interesting.
So there's a duality to it. He's not just wanting boobs. He's not this crazy pervert, but he wants someone to love him. He wants to feel what love is. Someone, a friendship, a relationship, anything to get him close to someone. That's the true meaning behind his dreams. And while it's visualized and it's very shallowly seen as just boobs, but it's much more than that.
When you put it that way, it makes it to where he's a more realistic character than probably any other shonen anime that we've watched, Like it's like,
exactly.
I'm not trying to be the number one. I'm not trying to like get to the top. I'm just here to live life and have a good life. And so like, it's, yeah, when you put it that way, it definitely makes it, it gives me a better perspective on the show in general.
At the shallow, yes. At just first glance, it can seem like a very horny kind of perverted show. Like, oh my gosh, every episode he's talking about how he just wants boobs. Yeah. He just wants to touch boobs. That's all he cares about. It's so much deeper than that. Okay. And that's why it's so worth the watch and the wait to see how this quote unquote dream of his develops into something so much more.
Well, that is Chainsawman. I'm definitely excited to see where it goes.
Okay. Hold on. I'm not done.
What do you got? I
need to talk about one more thing about Chainsawman, and then I'll let it be.
Okay.
One of the things that has also made Chainsawman very popular, right off the gate, is the intro.
Oh, yes.
For a number of reasons. Number one, the song is a straight bop.
Yep.
My boy Kenshi Yonezu, sorry. I'm in love with this guy now. He's done an intro for My Hero before. He's done things for other Japanese live action series. He's won multiple awards, and it's such a bop. Now, the song itself is one thing. The intro animation is also so unique because it references a lot of American pop culture movies in the intro. You see scenes like that reference like Thor Ragnarok. You see things that reference Kill Bill, Pulp Fiction, The Big Lebowski. All these little scenes that just like, it's like a screenshot. Almost. If you were to snapshot it and put it next to the scene in that movie, it looks almost the exact same, but with the Chainsawman characters. And it's just right off the bat with that intro. I remember seeing that intro and being like, this anime is next level. They put this much effort and work into even just the intro. This song is, I can't credit it enough. I can't say this anime so far is a 10 out of 10 for me. I love it.
Nice. Yeah, no, for sure. I'd like, it's warming up for me. I mean, I think I've watched the first 5 episodes and I definitely have enjoyed it. I'm also in the middle of One Piece too, and it's been pretty crazy. So it's kind of difficult to like put my attention on Chainsaw Man, but it's definitely been, I've definitely enjoyed it. It's been entertaining. So for the people that are looking for a good story, a different kind of story, and a more not so, I guess, child-friendly anime, Chainsaw Man is definitely the one.
Oh, yes. It is not your typical shonen, but it is an incredible watch. As someone that's read the manga, it's only going to get better, too. And to some of the people that kind of see it as a little perverted, a little horny, trust me, there's deeper meaning behind it all. There really is. Give it a shot.
I will definitely keep watching them as they drop, but it's it's the number one. I would assume it's the number one right now because it's it's what everybody's talking about. Besides, like the bigger hitters, the ones that are like reoccurring. I think it's the number one anime this season that is dropping like first episode, like the pilot episode, the pilot season. So I'm definitely excited to see where it goes. What?
My camera's shake. My whole desk is shake. Oh my God. It's a big boy battle. I know you missed these. These are the big boy battles. I'm your big boy. And I've got a battle.
I'm not okay.
Oh, no, you're not?
I wasn't ready for that.
I know. Neither are the people watching this. I see my screen just shaking like crazy.
Yep.
Yeah. So I've got a big boy battle for you.
You got a big boy battle for me. Now, for the people who have not watched and or listened to our previous podcast, Big Boy Battle is something that Marty always brings into the play. And he brings in 2 big contenders from anime to fight each other, and we have to discuss and argue and fight about who would actually win. And
I got a real fun one, interesting one for you.
Okay.
We can talk about it a little bit now that we've gotten further in My Hero.
Oh no.
So
okay.
I'm going with current Shigaraki.
Oh boy.
In the anime.
I don't like this already.
Versus Sukuna from Jujutsu Kaisen. 2 very evil characters. 2 very OP characters.
So, without saying anything that is going to be a spoiler, are we talking about anime Shigaraki? Are we talking about manga Shigaraki? Are we talking about anime Sukuna? Yes, we can still talk about
current anime, like where we're at in season 6 right now, Shigaraki.
And where we are at season 1 of Jujutsu Kaisen?
I mean, it's not like Sukuna necessarily gets any stronger. We just maybe haven't seen the full extent of his power in the anime. I forget you haven't read, huh?
No, I don't know Jujutsu Kaisen. So, but I mean, to be honest,
okay, you know what? Okay, not Sukuna then. I know whose power you do know, and that's Gojo.
Ooh.
So how about that? Season 1, Gojo from Jujutsu Kaisen versus Season 6, Shigaraki from My Hero.
That's a toughie. Because here's the thing. Shigaraki right now is 1v what, like 12ing everybody?
Yeah, sure is. Barely breaking a sweat.
With the court getting erased. So, and Gojo, I mean, domain expansion, is that what his move is?
Yes, his domain expansion. That's basically a surefire hit. It may be a surefire hit, but does that mean it's taking out Shigaraki? I mean, Shigaraki's got a one hit basically of his own.
It's true. I mean, here's the thing. I have to go Shigaraki on this one.
Yeah, really? Why?
There's a lot of reasons. So one of my main reasons is because I just can't see Gojo as powerful as he is. I just don't think that. Well, I don't know, because he has some range attacks and he's able to do some range stuff, but I think Shigaraki's too fast.
Shigaraki is going to be looking for that close-up fight. He's got some range, but he wants to touch him. If he gets full 5 fingers around that boy, Gojo's done.
True.
But Gojo just needs to open his domain expansion, fry that guy's brain.
True.
But is that enough to take out Shigaraki? His brain's already a little fried, if we're being honest.
I think it could go either way, but I think I'm still going to go with Shigaraki. The only thing is that Gojo cannot let up. If Gojo can do it from a distance and beat him from a distance, I would give it to Gojo. But I think if Shigaraki, with as fast as he is and as deadly as his decay quirk is, I think I think he'll take the gold on that one.
I think it's close. Gojo definitely has to take it seriously, which he does not take every fight seriously. That's for sure. With his current powers, Shigaraki will be able to see him coming.
Yes.
I think he'll sense that power.
My other question is, does Gojo know about decay before he fights him?
I think it's only fair.
Okay, it's only fair. That's fair. Okay. If that's the case,
we'll say they both know about each other's powers.
I think Gojo would stay away. That's a tough one. I don't know.
I know, some real OP characters.
And that's crazy because you go back to season 2 of My Hero and you don't see Shigaraki as a big villain.
Shigaraki's getting absolutely wiped by Gojo at that point.
Like, it's not even close. But yeah, as of right now, Shigaraki, it's nasty what's happening in My Hero. So I think he's only going to get nastier. Yeah, it's only going to get worse. But I think Shigaraki for sure would win that fight just out of... It's a close fight. Don't get me wrong. It's no wipe or anything like that. But I think
I think the only way Gojo takes it is if he starts the fight with domain expansion.
Yeah, I agree.
If he starts off, no, you're not getting close. We're not playing any games. I'm taking you out one shot.
Yeah.
If he doesn't do that, I think if it's a prolonged battle or even more than like 30 seconds, Shigaraki takes it.
I can definitely see that. Yeah, for sure. Well,
so that's a toughie.
That's a good big boy battle, though. I definitely didn't know. I don't know. That's a toughie.
I got to make it think. I can't make an easy one. You know, got to make it think about it.
Gotta make
so tell us what y'all think. Put it in the comments. Comment on one of our social medias. We'll probably put it out there. We usually put our big boy battles out on social media so people can kind of vote on it. Let us know what you think. Who do you think is going to win that?
Yep. Shigaraki or Gojo. So we'll see. If you haven't seen any of those anime, we definitely recommend both of them. They're very, very
highly
good.
Recommend. Highly recommend.
Yeah, they're definitely on the top of our list. So, but going to the second half of our discussion of fall anime big hitters. This one's kind of a. Would you say it's like taboo and like calling it anime, or is it legit an anime?
No, this one's legit an anime.
Okay.
Now, it is a Netflix anime.
Yes, it is a Netflix anime. It did drop on Netflix.
It dropped on Netflix. It dropped a little bit before some of these other falls, but it was only 10 episodes. So you couldn't consider it really a summer anime. It was right kind of in between. I think it's close enough we can talk about it. And that's Cyberpunk Edgerunners.
Yeah, and the anime itself is inspired and or, created because of the video game Cyberpunk 2077.
Yes.
Mike Pondsmith, by the way, was the video game designer on that, or the video game, I guess the head person on that video game. But I definitely saw it whenever that game first came out. I think it was actually one of the first games to what did it
drop
do?
On PS5.
It was on PS5, correct? Yeah, it was like
it was one of the first PS5 games.
Yes, and I know that there was a lot of issues when it first came out, as far as graphics go. There was a lot of things that weren't quite finished with it.
Right.
But as the game started developing, I've heard the story is amazing. I've heard that
it is.
Just in general, it's great. Well, for that video game to be such a good video game, of course they're going to have to adapt some stuff to kind of expand the universe. So they go back in time versus from where the video game actually started, and they have this anime called Edgerunners, Cyberpunk Edgerunners, and I guess their main character's name is David. Correct?
Yes.
Now,
David.
I have not personally seen this anime. I have not gotten around to look. I know I'm terrible. I'm watching One Piece.
I know. And you're such a. We need to have One Piece corner.
Oh, for sure. We'll have a One Piece corner later.
We need to have One Piece corner.
But so yeah, I guess for me, I've taken a look at some of just the still motion pictures, everything like that. It looks like a very colorful anime. It looks like a very well done animation style, everything like that. Of course, Netflix being as big of a company as it is, it's going to be dropping good content as far as, quality goes. Maybe not necessarily some of the Netflix originals that are kind of cheesy, but this seems like it definitely hit home for a lot of people who like Cyberpunk, the video game, and then also the anime world.
Oh, yeah. You call it colorful. And yes, we have a lot of neon, a lot of pink, blue, green, really bright lights and stuff. If you don't know anything about the series or the game, think futuristic, but almost not dystopian, but run down almost. There's a lot of back alley, stuff going on. There's a lot of these crazy new drugs going around. It's very gritty and dark, but then with the bright colors, it's a very interesting kind of combination.
Yeah, to me, it just really reminds me. I mean, being as big of a Star Wars fan as I am, it just brings to me the light of a very, very, almost a third world planet in Star Wars.
Sure.
That is very run down and very a lot of drug trafficking, a lot of renegade people, a lot of just what it is. I mean, they're called cyberpunks. Just a lot of what's the word I'm looking for? I can't think of the word. It's outlaws. There we go. That's the word I was looking for. Bunch of outlaws, okay. Space cowboys, basically, but not quite space cowboys.
I can kind of see that. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, anyway, but from what you've watched, what's the synopsis? What's going to get me to watch this? What could we say? What is it about? What you got?
So you got it right. We got our main character, David. He is not of a well-off family. His mother does what she can. She's trying to put him in a really nice private school, one probably nicer than he belongs in, and he does get bullied for it. But him trying to make it to the top, being like, "Hey, I don't care where my background is, where I came from. I'm gonna make it to the top and be a really important person." Then there is a fatal car crash that takes out his mom, and not just a car crash, but a shooting. Some kind of wild stuff happens. They get caught in the crossfires, and he loses his mom, who's his only family, by the way.
Oh my gosh.
So the story follows David kind of falling from this, I'm going to go to this private school and become an executive and all this kind of stuff, to basically kind of outlawish, like you said, street urchin, what they call edgerunners, which are basically kind of like these high profile thieves in a way. They're doing, hits, they're stealing, all this kind of stuff. And what helps him become an edge runner is a piece of technology he gets his hands on that's military grade that can kind of make him move a lot faster than he should. And what surprises everybody is he can use it multiple times without going crazy. Because a lot of times when people use too much of these cybernetics and too much of this kind of stuff, they turn into what they call cyber psychos.
Interesting. Okay.
And where they basically just completely lose their mind. They're taken over by the technology and they have to call in this special SWAT team to take them out. So the story is kind of following him riding this fine line, being able to handle more technology than a normal person can, and following him as he meets up with and creates new friends, falls in love, loses family members and friends along the way, and his journey with basically riding this line between staying human and becoming a cyber psycho.
Okay. So would you say, I guess, how on the verge of like people who are wanting to come and like watch this anime, what would you say, like, is it for kids?
No.
Okay, not for kids.
It's not for kids. It's not Chainsawman level of gore, but there's a good amount of blood and guts. There's a good amount of gore in it.
A lot of drugs, a lot of different things.
A lot of drugs. It is a little promiscuous. I believe there's some nudity in it. So no, this is not for children. It is a very mature anime. Okay. It is only 10 episodes. It is not a long anime. This completed the story of David and all of his kind of stuff. So I don't know if they're going to come back with any kind of season 2 that may follow a different storyline, maybe with some similar characters. Mm-hmm. I'm not really sure. Definitely a mature anime, though, I would say.
Okay.
Not fully shonen necessarily. Very actiony. But very, very fun watch. For me personally, I felt like the end was a little predictable, but at the same time, kind of watching how everything plays out, I still think it was like the correct way to end the show. For me, I'm giving it like an 8.5 out of 10. I thought it was a really good watch.
8.5 out of 10. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll definitely have to watch it. I'll definitely let y'all know kind of like what I think about it too, kind of going forward. I've just heard it's a very colorful, but it seems like it's a very dark story. So I'm really, it definitely does interest me as far as like that goes. So I'll definitely take a watch on it.
Excellent.
But I mean, do you have anything else about Cyberpunk that you would want to let the world know before they went and watched it?
Cyberpunk, no, not really. Definitely kind of go into it, get ready to feel some things. It definitely tugs on the heartstrings at times. Get ready for some brutal stuff. But it's one of those that once you get through that first episode or two, you're going to be grinding it out. You're going to be wanting to finish those 10 episodes real quick. It's a fun story.
Cool. Well, that does finish up our two powerhouses. Of course, we had Chainsaw Man and Cyberpunk. So I'm pretty excited to see where both of those are going to be going. Of course, all of the fall anime that have been dropped have been pretty crazy so far. And just kind of in general, I'm really excited to see what we will have on the next episode as to what we're going to be looking at for.
I don't even know.
We don't even know yet. So we'll definitely see. I mean, let us know in the comments like what you would want us to kind of like give a review on, and we'll definitely be looking at those two anime. I'll be looking into Arc Knights, and Martin will be looking into Bocchi the Rock and the Rock. Something about a rock?
Bocchi the Rock. Bocchi the Rock.
Okay, cool. So we have a kind of a slice of life musical anime, and then we have like this Arc Knights kind of like fantasy looking anime. So we'll see. We may even start watching it, and it may not even be close to what we actually thought it was. So, you know,
I may get through one episode and say, no, thank you.
Never mind. We're going to choose a different one. But, you know, we'll see how that goes. But definitely let us know what you think about Chainsaw Man. Definitely let us know what you think about Cyberpunk. And let us know who you think in the big boy battle, whether or not Shigaraki or Gojo would actually win in a fight. You never know. We will never know. You know, maybe one of these days, I don't know, both companies, for whoever owns My Hero, whoever owns Jujutsu Kaisen, maybe they can do a crossover episode and have them fight. I don't know. Probably not.
Maybe we'll put it on the Mugen.
Yeah, we'll put it on the Mugen tournament. In addition to that, definitely go check out our Mugen tournament.
Yes.
We are currently in the Tournament of Awesomeness, which I think actually currently, when this episode will drop, we'll have episode 5 out.
Right.
So go check that out. That is going to be the first round of the quarterfinals. So if you haven't watched the first round fights, there's been some crazy fights. There's been crazy upsets. There's been some
bad fights.
And there's been some really boring bad ones. But we just
can't help but think about Yugimoto versus Zenitsu.
Yeah, we don't talk about that fight. That was you can literally sleep on it, and it'll
be fine.
Just completely ignore that one. But we're glad to be back. I'm glad to be back.
Oh gosh, yes, it's been way too long. For those of you wondering, Megan is fine.
Yes.
Her Mars mission was just far too important.
Yeah, she had to go back.
They had to go back. They said, we can't do this without you. These Mars bugs are just tearing us apart. You're the only one that can save us.
Yep.
So
Yep.
She's up there handling them bugs.
Yep. So, but like we said, make sure you like, subscribe. Let us know what else you would like for us to talk about going forward. This is going to kind of be like our whole setup. Going to be talking a little bit more about like all the fall anime. Once winter anime comes out, we'll be talking about winter anime. And we'll still be dropping those Mugen tournaments. So let us know what you like. Let us know if you have any specific things that you want us to drop, any content. And we'll definitely be listening. So, but I guess until next time, we'll see you next time. I don't even know what I'm saying.
Yeah, thanks for sticking with us. I know it's been a long time. Appreciate everybody coming back to listen. And trust me, keep listening. We're going to have some good stuff.
Yes, sir. We'll see y'all next week.
Bye.